Now to a surge of coronavirus cases across the country. Here's what you need to know this morning. There are nearly 190,000 cases in the nation with more than 4,000 deaths. The White House now says between 100 and 240,000 Americans could die from coronavirus. President Trump warns about a bad 2 weeks moving forward. Here at home, there are more than 1,200 cases in the Houston area. Sadly, 56 Texans have died. This spike in cases forcing county leaders to take action. The stay-at-home order for Harris County and much of the state will now last until April 30th. I'm Michelle Choi, now joining us live with what you need to know this morning. Michelle.
Guys, that extension is the result of the fight against the coronavirus being far from over. In fact, city and county leaders say this is not the time to scale back from containment measures, but rather to double down. And according to Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner, this pandemic could peak around May 2nd in the greater Houston area if we remain aggressive. That means more school and business closures. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo extended the stay-home, work-safe order through at least April 30th. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott updated his executive order closing schools until at least May 4th. He also announced the latest number statewide. He says 42,922 Texans have been tested for COVID-19, and of those, 3,266 tested positive for the virus. He says of those with the virus, about 11% need to be hospitalized. Now, on the national level, it is the same message. President Trump says the decisions they're making right now are a matter of life and death. With mitigation, he says that between 100 to 200,000 Americans could die from COVID-19. Without mitigation, it could be in the millions. Guys.
We hope that doesn't happen. Michelle, thank you. Starting today, you have a chance to help healthcare workers on the front lines of this pandemic. You can now drop off protective gear for them. Our Janelle Fort joins us live now. And Janelle, how is this process going to work?
Well, Steph, it's no secret that there's a national shortage when it comes to personal protective gear and equipment for healthcare workers and first responders on the front lines of COVID-19. So in an effort to fill the void a bit, officials are now asking folks to donate. So the Sugar Land Skeeters here, they're offering up Constellation Field as a drop-off point for anyone who wants to do so. The items here, they're going to be delivered to Memorial Hermann's hospital system. And here's a list of the needs: alcohol wipes, bleach wipes, face shields, isolation gowns, medical grade N95 masks, sanitation wipes, sanitizer with CDC requirement of 60% or higher, shoe and boot covers, and surgical masks. Now, donated items should be unused and unopened, and items will be inspected before being delivered. Memorial Hermann says it already has a steady supply of personal protective equipment for its healthcare workers, but added that more donations coming in will help maintain that steady supply. Now, you can donate at the box office here Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. starting today. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, hopefully there are a lot of donations considering how much we've been hearing about medical professionals needing PPE. All right, Janelle Fort, thank you. Now to a spike in domestic violence cases during stay-at-home orders, plus price gouging complaints. Your Rush Block continues, starting with the ticking time bomb at the Harris County Jail.
The Harris County Jail will release about 1,000 nonviolent inmates to stop the spread of the virus in jail. Hundreds of inmates are quarantined after one tested positive.
The judge says there will be a screening process in place that includes the district attorney and pretrial services, but it's a process that comes with plenty of controversy.
Harris County Sheriff's Office tells us a man is being accused of killing his wife in northeast Harris County. Officials tell us they've seen a spike in domestic violence cases, and they hope that victims reach out for help.
From $7 milk to $30 for water, Texans have filed thousands of price gouging complaints during the COVID-19 crisis. The Attorney General's office has logged 4,000 complaints, and that number, well, it grows every day. For context, during Hurricane Harvey, the state logged 6,000 complaints.
The newest COVID-19 testing site opens in Sugar Land. It took mere minutes for things to fill up Tuesday morning, and they're going to limit testing here to about 250 people a day. It's the second Houston area site operated by United Memorial Medical Center, the first of which has tested some 2,400 people so far. 9% of those have come back positive. Find out more about all testing sites on KHOU.com.
making strides on rapid COVID-19 tests. A 5-minute test is expected in doctors' offices this week, and other faster tests are in the works. And that's your Rush Block on this Wednesday morning.
You guys are flooding our Facebook page with questions about the CARES Act that Congress passed last week and what it means for you. So I'm going to answer some of your most common questions. First up, Brittany commented, can someone do a story on how people have been trying to file for unemployment for more than 2 weeks on a site that says page unavailable? She adds, you get a busy signal, then the line hangs up at the office or tells you to go to a non-working site. We totally understand the frustration there, Brittany, but frankly, the Texas Workforce Commission is just overwhelmed right now. It was used to getting about 20,000 calls per day. Last week in one day, it got 1.5 million calls. So the state is responding, it's shifting resources, and it's hiring hundreds more employees. So hopefully they can work through that backlog. Next up, how much can I get in unemployment? Excellent question. So the Texas equation is kind of complicated, but it boils down to this. So you use your quarter with the highest wages in the past year, then divide it by 5. It's going to range from somewhere between $521 to $69 a week, but the CARES Act also adds on another $600 a week. Tanya wants to know about, let's start with Summer here, who's asking about the CARES Act. She says, what if my income hasn't been affected yet? Well, you still get a check, remember, but only if you make less than $99,000. We have all of that on KHOU.com. You can figure out if you're going to get one. Tanya asked about people on disability and Social Security. Yes, you will also get a stimulus check, but if you haven't filed a tax return in the past few years, the IRS wants you to do so as quickly as possible. It has a whole section of its website dedicated to coronavirus response. And Nathan asks, are we going to have to pay this back on the tax season 2021, 22? The short answer is you won't have to pay taxes on it. So do you have a question you want answered? You can text us at 713-526-1111. Back to you.
All right, Brandy, great job out there. You ask, we answer, and don't forget to use that resource. All right, we know Europe is a coronavirus hotspot, and we've heard about the problems in Italy and Spain, but the number of cases in Germany also keeps growing. So why aren't we hearing about it? Janelle Bluda connects the dots.
Germany has over 60,000 coronavirus cases, but has one of the lowest death rates in the world. So what's the country's secret? Let's connect the dots. When you look at the number of coronavirus cases compared to population, Germany is actually one of the worst affected countries. But their rate of fatalities is one of the lowest, and according to experts, that may be because of testing. Germany has one of the highest testing rates per capita, and because of the widespread testing, they have fewer unreported cases than many other countries. In January, Germany was one of the first countries to develop a reliable test for COVID-19, and those tests were quickly rolled out. There could also be another factor. The country has a very high number of intensive care beds compared to population. That means right now their hospitals are not being overwhelmed, and coronavirus patients that need critical care get it. But healthcare experts warn that Germany is still in the early phases of the pandemic, and the death toll could soon rise despite their best efforts. Connecting the dots, I'm Janelle Bluda for H-Town Rush.
All right, Janelle, thank you. And remember, you can stay up to date with coronavirus news around the world. Head to KHOU.com/coronavirus or text that number that just popped up on your screen at 713-526-1111, and we'll send you a link right directly to your phone.